Hi there, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe because you'll learn quite a lot of interesting stuff on how we build the cars with Alias, especially using Alias 2024. And to the ones returning, we will be looking at how we build this body side here. And I'll take a little bit of a different approach, one that I'm not using that often, but I said I'm going to give it a go. Make a wireframe first, work that in, and then build the surfaces for that. So now let's start doing these curves. So let's dig in straight away. I'll start off with the wheel arches. And for that, mainly use the circle. It's pretty easy to work with. So that would be here in the curves. I'll take a circle, but I like to take not one of these, but actual circles which are based on curves, not these fixed lines. So let's try this one. Yeah, that's the one that I was looking for. So I want a sweep angle of 180. Just one segment, and I'll take a degree 7. Let's pop it in there, and I'll scale it up. I'll bring it out in this view, and what I'll do now is try to bring it as close as possible to the mesh. So let's put our pivot on the curve right here. And I'll bring it over there. And I'll center the pivot because I want to work nice and clean. So I'll scale it up. First, not proportionally, because I like to get in this shape here. And I'll move it also down to here. So one thing that's important for most of these circles is that they work neatly and we scale them up. So I'll move the pivot down here, scale it this way, so you see it working in there. We get a nice egg shape. Not that we would want it, but now we will take the CVs and non-proportional scale them out until we hit that contour that we see there. So here at the bottom, we're getting pretty close. So we can see that we have a wheel arch which is closing to the bottom, which is pretty cool, but it shouldn't close too much. Now these CVs, non-proportional scale them up. These ones as well. And these ones, I'll bring them down because I like that shape. And it's got a bit of an accent here, and you see it tends to have here an accent. Unfortunately, our mesh is not the best when it comes to its precision, but we work with what we have. So take this one as well, move it out. And then there will be a lot of fine tuning once we get in there. Now we have roughly achieved that shape in that view. Let's take that and I'll go into my object edit, offset it in the active view. So that means in the side view orthographically. And let's scale this out till that pink line seems to fit around there. Looking pretty decent. Let's bring it in. So we've got 31.9. Let's go with 31. And we can also see how this is working. So it's pretty good. Now in the front view, we will start tuning the line to fit the scan. So I'll turn the CVs on the offset, so I don't accidentally move them, thus destroying the history, because I like working with a construction history. So now I'll just pull the CV in here. We want to achieve this to resemble as much as we can to the lines that we see in the front view. So that will be that here. I will want to go outward. This starts to look more like that. This one will go a little bit more inboard. This one can also slide a bit down to give it that much wanted accent that we are seeking for this area. So we're pretty close there. We might take these ones and nudge them in just a tiny bit. And then let's see the CVs here at the back. So this one needs to move in. We see the line of that here. So we're going to move it in like this. This one will not roll all the way in because you see at the front it's ending abruptly, while at the back it's rolling quite a lot. So what we will do is we will bring these CVs a little bit out because we need wheel coverage. It's actually something you should read upon legally. When you're building cars for production, you need to be able to cover the wheel. Let's say 10 o'clock till 3 o'clock. That would mean, give or take, 30 degrees at the front, 50 at the back. So that's a legal requirement in most of the countries to be able to put a car through production and get homologation for it. So that's it. We've got that in. That's very cool. And now what I like to do is take the CVs on. So first I'll take the curve itself and I'll nudge it in a little bit because we see here it's got a bit of an angle. So move it in like that. And at the bottom, the last CV, I always like to nudge it in a little bit to lead into the shape towards the front. So it's causing a little bit of a twist in the wheel or in the wheel flat. And that's helping with the perception of the car from the rear three-quarter view. So that's it. We've got that. And what we can do to make things faster, we take that curve, we copy paste it, and move it to the rear area. We will scale this one a bit up. But let's just move it ever so slightly into position. Then we'll scale it up a little bit. And now, let's see how we are doing. What we can do is we should flip this. It's going more inboard at the back, similar to what we've got in the front. So what we can do is go into the information window, the transforms, and if I'm not mistaken, we could just put a minus in here, and that does it. Because we're working along the x-axis, and to flip it along the x-axis, it's enough to put a minus in front of the value there, and that already flips your line. So let's move this a little bit up. Getting there. A little bit out. And now we take this point and we push it in here. This one can go also in this one as well. I like to keep the character tab for, so just come in here at the bottom. This then is going to resemble the character that we've got here. It's easier to surface between those areas. Let's pull this one in at the back, like this. Then this other one will move out. And we are more or less there. We've had 30 at the front, so just take it from there and offset. 31 at the front. And I'll keep the same size because it would look odd if your wheel flap at the rear is smaller than at the back. Normally you would do it just a little bit bigger at the back. Okay, now this one. I'll move it a little bit down. See here it seems to be okay. I'll move this up a little more. Move it down a little bit more. Then I'll do the trick, so instead of 31, I'll do 35. Seems to sit in front of that theory there. I like to go with these numbers, so for myself, I will deviate there just to make sure that I build the way like these more. And I'll keep the character as well. I'll accept a deviation in this area. I'll try to keep the character of those sections, but I'll keep the deviation. Okay, so that's that. Let's nudge this in as well, like at the front. That's it. Then this CV, I'll move in as well a little bit to lead into the shape here. So it's going to cause a little twist in there, but it's not going to be an abrupt change. Okay, turn the CVs off. So that set is done. That is done. As we said at the top, we're doing pretty good. Okay, let's bring one in here, the front. Then we snap it to that line there. And now what I'll do, I'll bring it here. Then I'll flip this way, so it's sitting roughly there. Now, as I said in the previous videos, I'll start with a degree 2 curve, try to approximate as much as I can. Now I'll switch it to this view, move it out. So you see now that the curve looks this, so it's sitting on one plane. What I'll tend to do, I'll just turn up to the CV count. But even before I do that, I'll slide this CV a little bit up, so it's getting closer to that pointer there. And you see it's getting there. I'll give it a degree 3. So then this will allow me to flatten here a little bit. This one can move out a little bit. This one as well can go up and out. So we've got the acceleration going there. So one curve, these ones are done. We can now bring in this one in here. from here, looks like this is sitting on one plane, so we might as well extend this curve to that plane, snap that curve, snap it there, and we'll work with that crown later on. But we know now that this curve, that CV can move in the normal direction in a little bit. This one, instead of being a dead straight curve, will turn it into degree 2. Snap the point there. This one moves a little bit out. And then when we've surfaced this, we will fine tune those. So that one is done. Now, as I said, we'll try to bring in here one curve. And we see here, we would need one curve here. So that curve, what I'd like to do is take the curves that we had here at the top, this curve, mesh there, and what I will tend to do is go from here down this section line up to here. And then what I'll try to do is to approximate that section with one curve. So we're hitting the section roughly there. The CV needs to slide up. There we go. This could be a degree 3 curve. Flatten it a little bit. The reason why I'm doing that is I'll use that curve, this one here, to drive the lower one, because it'll have to be related somehow to that one to make sure that we get nice highlights. So for that, I'll copy and paste that curve. Oh, now there. And I'll do a surface first. So that curve will be the generation. I'll have 2 rail curves, these ones here. This one, this surface will get some cross sections. And I'll rotate that curve along the x-axis till it tends to get there. There we go. So this is roughly where the line will run on that lower area there. That's good. And now what I want to do is we'll turn that off. This one turns back on. And I'll try to get one curve here that resembles to that highlight there. So let's brush this right here. So it's sitting on the peak. I'll bring it out onto the peak. And we're deviating a little bit there. But we'll have to check all those surfaces. Let's get the curve in first. So get a degree 1 curve. And you see it's too stiff. So turn it into degree 2. And I'll push the CV a little bit back in, a little bit up. So it's resemble that curve more. To get that in, we can squeeze a view and see that this will work nicely. You can extend that curve a little bit, still working along there. So what I want to do is I'll project in the side view this curve onto this surface. We can see here that this shape is a bit wobbling. Here we're on it, it's coming out, so we'll have to see how that will work. that we can get this in as a curve. And that's something that we'll start working with later on. So we don't need that anymore. We don't need this anymore. We'll extend this line here all the way to the wheel flats. And what we can do is actually start rotating that line in. So we'll bring in a pivot somewhere around there, and we'll rotate it in. There we go. What we will do, we will then accelerate out to here. So that will be the area where we leave this patch, come out here, where we'll start building these things. So stay tuned for the next video where I'll do some more of these curves, and slowly we'll get into building the surfaces there. So this is what you should have by the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next lessons. And do subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you're new to the channel and you like this content, and you know others who would like to learn more on this topic, just share it, spread the word, and I'll catch you in my next videos. Ciao.